So hello and welcome to the Donny Chaingang with me, Matt Payne. We're live from the Full Speed Events Studios. We're out and in the old farmhouse once again. It is going to be a bit of a cracker tonight because we are in one of the toughest courses that's on the Chaingang. And if you don't like it, blame Tom Linley. It's that straightforward. He is the man who has been nagging us to put this in, but Russ actually chose it, so blame Russ. Actually, you can blame me because I dreamt this up in the first place, of going up and down this hill more times than I care to remember. I did test ride it first, though, so I have suffered on this course. Before we go any further, though, got to say, we are here as part of Continental February. We've got a massive giveaway coming up with some yet to be released, but coming straight out to the members of the DCG gang, the Donny Chaingang Supporters Club riders. Those tyres going to be heading out, and we're going to do that later on in the show. But before we go too much further, big thank you to all of the people up there. The guys at 1080, OT, Gritty, Velaskin, Halo, Nons, and of course Continental to Shelley, because basically this is only possible because they support the members of the gang and the members of the gang donate. And if you haven't donated, then totally understand that things are tight at the moment. If you do get the opportunity to donate, really would appreciate that because it just helps us cover off all the costs for Russ and myself. Believe me, nobody's going to be getting rich on this. You're not going to see it on getrichquick.com here in any time soon. It's a way that myself and Russ can put something back into the sport and give people a bit of a home to go to. A home from home or within home, depending on where you are. And joining me in the studio here today, it is the one and only. It's going to be Emma Martin. Emma, DS, commentator, rider, racer, and currently static over there, although you can talk. The mouth won't move.
Can indeed talk. I just don't have a camera, so look at that, and that is an old photo.
It is quite an old photo, but not that old.
That's the best jersey I ever bought. That for £10 off Nicky Bremier.
I know, and you were riding that helmet a couple of years ago, so there you go. So, Emma, we had a cracking ride on Tuesday. We got a cracking ride, of course, out on the WOW DCG yesterday, and that was an absolutely stunning ride. Tonight is going to be a little bit different, isn't it? Because this is a bit of a beastie. Of course, Russ is controlling the ride. So Russ is our yellow beacon, and Russ will be holding on to everybody. But this route is a bit of a beast. Essentially, it's an out and back with a turn beyond the banners at each end. So beyond the start banner and beyond the finish banner is a U-turn to go up and down. Think old school time trial back in the 80s. I'm old enough to remember doing turns in the road. And that's what we do. We go out from the start, we go up the hill, we turn around, we go right back down, we go through the start banner, we turn around, come through the start proper, go back out, go through the top of the hill, do a U-ey, come back down, do another U-ey, and then that's the finish.
And let's just clarify, shall we? Because that graphic in front of everybody says 4 laps. Now, that 4 laps means 1 lap is going up, 1 lap is coming down, 1 lap is going up, and the lap number 4 is going back down again.
It is, and it's literally that way, just so that we actually follow the lap distances shown on ZwiftX. Or you can think of it as 216.1k laps, but it is plus the turns. So that is plus the U-turns, the little grey bits you can see on the side of the map. So Russ is going to have his work cut out because this is hilly. Elevation 492 metres, warm down of 3.2k. This is going to be tough stuff for people. Basically is a slightly downhill and then a flat run into the climb, a steep climb up, a fast drop down. If you're not on the wheels at the U-turn, you ain't making it. That is how it works. Now, we've not done this with anvils before. I would imagine that these are going to do some seriously destructive power and put a lot of people into the hands of our red beacon. So when the doors are well and truly blown off, as the beacon's bus was showing, or falling off the edge of the cliff, then it's going to be Mike Killingsworth who's going to be looking after people. And when we say it's flat then and uphill, this is what it looks like. It is flat and then a monster of a hill. So you can see, courtesy of our Velo Viewer graphic, it is tough stuff with the steepest section right in the middle there, highlighted in red. But you don't need to know the details. That says it all, doesn't it, Emma?
Nobody wants to know that it's 16.2% gradient in places.
That's the average on that red section.
I know, I wasn't
And
going
it's
to say
going to be
that.
even steeper. Which
I
is
was
gonna
trying
pretty
to be
brutal.
nice.
Well, let's see how our riders are feeling. Whether they're feeling like we are going to be nice or not. Because, Emma, they are down on that start line as we get ready to head out and away. So this is the moment of when our riders are go at the moment. So the riders are setting off and out and away. It looks like almost everybody are making a move out. We're just riding in with Taylor Leach at the minute. And Emma, we can see at the moment that group setting off. It's all about getting out nice and smoothly, isn't it?
It is. It is about getting everybody off of that start line in one group and one large blob and getting it all together.
So just jumping in with our riders now. So we're going to take a little bit of a run back. Looks like Neil from Gritty needs to get a little bit of a wriggle on. So just keeping an eye on them. Looks like Neil just doing a late start. Maybe he's just slightly too busy editing. Looks like Simon Oxenham doing a few little wiggles on his way out here. So let's just take a check. It looks like Simon Oxenham just a little bit further back down the road at the moment. So, real simple stuff. It looks like Mr. Westwood just trying to motor his way out to try and get himself back in touch with that group. And you can see big numbers there, Emma.
Yeah, they are indeed. So we've got a couple of riders just about 4 or 5 seconds off of that pace now. So pushing on and going to collect each other as they roll back into the group. And interesting to see, Matt, we've got our yellow beacon from last night in that pack as well.
That would be Lisa Jane Lee.
It would, or Foxy from Rave.
Indeed. Same person, different person, same person. Let's have a look. Are we sure? Are you sure it's the same person? Let's have a little look. Check out the avatar. That would be different person.
Ah.
There you go. There are more than one person called Foxy. This is
That's
Foxy
terrible,
from Rave.
isn't it?
There you go. So, different squad. Different rider.
Yeah.
There you go. Right. So, let's take a little bit of a look. Westwood currently just rocketing its way in. Looks like Dick Small dead in the water despite the avatar saying it's moving. So, that's going to be a rejoin. Now, this is indeed going to be a perfect course for the Anvil of Alicante. For anybody who loves descending super quick. This is the run out from town from Bologna. Very nice little run out to see the sights. And definitely not a day where you need to be pushing on to get into that climb. That is for sure.
No, absolutely not. This is absolutely a day where you sit round yellow and you stay as tight as possible to that yellow beacon.
Yeah, expend no energy that you need to not expend on the way through. So Mike Killingsworth just keeping a check on the riders. Mike, is our red beacon not showing on the current update? It's probably going to be showing for our riders, even if it doesn't show for us on the way through. And looking pretty strung out at the moment, Emma. So it looks like Russ is going to have to be on the message board.
Yeah, and it is, isn't it, about calling everybody back and everybody knowing that they should be around yellow on the start. So pulling back and making a large blob around rather than a big long snake, which is what it looks like at the moment on the top right-hand corner of the screen.
Indeed, it does. So our helicopter just up and overhead at the moment, and certainly just showing it's looking a little bit strung out at the minute. We're just going to keep taking a look at the riders out there. And at the moment, it's looking pretty fast. We're just going to have a double check. Looks like we've got no audio actually coming from Zwift at the moment, which is not what it's meant to do. And we are meant to have some audio on the way through. We're going to do a little bit of jiggery-pokery behind the scenes. And hopefully, if we get this right, you will suddenly find that Foxy is being tracked by a helicopter that makes noise on the way through. We will see. Certainly looks at the moment like we're not getting any, which is not how it's meant to work. Let's see if we're getting any now. No, looks like Swift is having a silent day today in Bologna. There we go. Looks like it's just you and me, kid.
Yeah, and a silent day is good. It means you can hear the riders breathing around you.
You can indeed hear the riders breathing around you if you were in one place. Now, one of the things we do have on tonight, of course, is we have our giveaways, and we will be heading in for those. At the moment, though, you can just see the helicopter up. So let's get our drone up in the air over the top of the riders and just taking the look. Any plans for DCG Zwift kit? No, that old chestnut. Right. There is not going to be and won't be a Donny Chaingang kit. Because if everybody rides in the same kit, then nobody knows who they are. The whole point is the personalisation. Not just think of me, Mr. Mason.
Yeah,
although
think
I
of
do
Matt.
appreciate that.
It's nice
Do
to know
appreciate
someone's
that.
thinking of you.
Yeah, it is. Not many. Not just that, but also because the whole point is that if you are coached by Russ Downing, you can have a Downing cycling kit. And the Downing cycling kit is more important. Yeah, I would really love it all in the same kit. It would be really easy. Instead of spending, and they said wasting, that would have been the wrong word. Instead of spending every Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday and about 40 hours a week on the Chaingang, I could do something like ride my bike. You never know. Wouldn't that be a dangerous thing? I might actually be quite quick then.
Well,
No danger of that.
Don't do that. Do some talking instead.
And one of the things is, if you go on a ride, so let's say, for example, the Rise in Scotland is a great example. Everybody's the same kit. Everybody looks the same. Nobody's different. And nobody has a personality.
Yeah,
and that's part of it. You know, we know, for example, that Kai Hurst is going to be tucked in here in the green and yellow because he's down from, where's he from? Devon.
Ah, there you go. And you know what I like? I
Go
like
on.
the fact that our red beacons modify their kit to find the funky red stuff.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Mr. Rollitt on there. You've got, let's have a look. Westwood's going to be in the blue. Rob Varty's using grey and orange. There he is.
Oh, look. And you see, we wouldn't have the donuts.
And you wouldn't have the donuts. Donuts, I can tell you now, that is going to be Dale Williams. Isaac Oliver is the Yontbont crew, will be in the grey kit there. There he is with the flat cap on. Adi Dench is probably in a red kit or in the Downing Cycling coach kit. And we'll get to somebody who's in Downing Cycling. Let's have a look. Jimmy Mack will be in the Scottish kit, I would imagine, or the Wahoo. Of course, he's in Wahoo. He's a sponsored rider. There you go. So Jimmy
I like
in
that
there.
kit.
It is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mr. Tunnicliffe will be tucked in here. Who else should we have a pick on? So the regulars get a bit of character, and I like that characterisation. Bobby Mason will be in his train shark kit, the blue with the white, with train sharp over the top. There you go. Bobby, one of our regulars as well. Tim Baggs will usually in the same stuff. Let's have a little bit of a look. Dale is your man in with the donut. Let's have a little bit of check. Josh Mayland will be something resembling the Halo, sort of similar to the Halo kit on a red and black bike. Halo, of course, one of our key supporters of the Chaingang. So Josh in here. Just seeing the back of the gang getting stretched out here. So just going to take a little bit of a run back in and through. We're not yet on to the climb, so we're just going to take a check back to the back of the group. And it looks like Foxy and Mike Killingsworth, you know, they're riding at 3 watts per kilo, and they are in danger of being distanced here. It shows you just how much draft there is on this lower section. It will be absolutely for nothing on the way back up. That is for sure. So you can just see the back of that group just strung out a little bit. This climb, have you raced this climb, Emma?
No.
Have you ridden this climb?
No.
You're missing
actually
out.
on a Zwift route I have not ridden.
Well, that's
There are
very
a few.
honest of you to say.
Most
so.
of them contain very large hills.
Funnily, it's funny you should say that. I can't imagine why that would be.
Well, you know, if you want to go and ride large hills, you just go out to the Peak District or, you know.
Well, you could just ride something a little bit different rather than this. I've actually raced this. It was on the Cycling Weekly time trial 1 week. It was, yeah. It was pretty harsh. But it was really interesting. There were a load of people who were on time trial bikes. And there was no way on this earth I was riding a time trial bike on this. I was on a lightest bike I could forget because I knew that I would be all right on the flat section. So here we go on towards the climb. The chatbot's pretty quiet today, really. as they head through. Mike Killingsworth is in the UK kit.
Well, there's a call for an anvil amnesty at the moment.
Yeah, you can dump them early in the hope that you're going to get them on the way through. It would be quite a nice thought, but I don't think that is going to happen. So we're just going to take a look. Now, Mike Killingsworth is our red beacon. But at the moment, it may well be that when other people are viewing you, Mike, you don't have the beacon on there. So you just need to be aware of that, buddy. We are starting to make our way up the climb. Finn Davis is here. Finn's on board once again. Good to have got Finn in here. Finn, one of our super smart riders, had a great ride on Tuesday. One of our more sensible riders on Tuesday as well. So on to the climb we go, on to the lower slopes. We're soon going to be into our right-hand turn. And I'll be brutally honest, I am expecting to see people distance from right now. Okay, so Neil can see the beacon as a beam in red, so that is going to be good for everyone else. We do get this occasionally, particularly if there's been an update in the worlds and in the operating system. We lose red beacon out on the way through. So the gang on the lower slopes at the moment, the aim to be keeping everybody together. So let's keep a check on how our riders do. Mike Killingsworth on his way through, keeping an eye on those riders behind. 92 riders. It's somebody's 150th. Who's 150th? Mick Clark. He's 150th. Donny Chaingang.
Congratulations.
Right. Well done, buddy.
That is an achievement.
It is indeed.
God, could you imagine if you could get a Zwift achievement badge?
Yep. Well, I'd want it to go around this hairpin at 15%, to be honest. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
No.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Zwift achievement badge for 150 Donny Chaingangs.
Yeah, definitely. You can see everybody searching for the pavement at the moment just to try and get themselves up here without running on the climb. In fact, they're actually bunny hopping through the walls and everything. Oh, we're on the grass now. Oh, very entertaining. You can see this is a route that's not very often ridden, to be honest, and you can see why. We've got riders all over the place at the moment. We're going to get our drone camera looking back. Not too badly strung out. Very weird with everybody diving out sideways. There we go. And pay for every one of good lad Mr. Clark, one of our regulars on the Chaingang. In fact, should we reward one of our regulars, Emma? Would that be a really good thing to do? Who's a member of the DCG gang?
Well, I do think we've got some giveaways today, haven't we?
We have indeed. Now, this is Continental February. We are supported by the DCG gang. They are the members who donate. Those people who do donate, they are the people who donate for a month or donate for the duration of the season to the end of the season. So whilst our riders are on to this climb, we are going to go and head in and take a look and maybe just get some prizes out there. And we're going to do that with our fantastic giveaway. Now, the giveaway is going to be for the riders who are going to be in there. Now, let's load up this giveaway because we need to load this with our fantastic randomized numbers. As you can see at the moment, there are no random numbers in there. That is soon going to change because the odds at the moment of this are currently 601 to 1. And I know it's a lot less than that. In fact, I can tell you for certain that it is going to be 1 in 49 for the first draw. So 1 in 49 for the first draw. And if we've got it correct, there we go. As if by magic. Don't panic, Mr. Captain Manning. So, as you can see, we have our Continental tyres. They are Grand Prix 5000 AS. These are the brand spanking, yet to be launched, going to go out to the members of the DCG gang first.
Cool, you could be one of the first people in the UK to have them on your bike.
Indeed, they are going to be coming out. This is going to be the prize that is going out. Now, we have 5 pairs of these to give away. 5 pairs to give away to members of the DCG gang. So, the way this works, every member of the DCG gang has got a number. And we started off, the first person up there is,
Jimmy Allen, number 1.
and it is in alphabetical surname order. So the first is Allen, the second is Baggs, the third is Bell, and so on all the way through. Now, that's how it works. We're doing it in alphabetical order. So number 1 is Allen, 2 Baggs, 3 Ball, 4 Bar. You get the picture. The random number will stop when we press a button. It is utterly random. I have tried to get this to land on lucky number 15 for me 1,000,001 times. We can never get it to land on it. It doesn't work that way. When it stops, that means there will be a pair of tyres which are tubeless ready, that are just that little bit heavier duty than the 5,000, so they are going to be a little bit more durable. They're a little bit better for the average rows around the Donny Chaingang route, that's for sure. And just as importantly, roll that a little bit quicker than the 4 Seasons, which are the ultra heavy duty roads around Sheffield type roads. So, a pair of tyres in 25 or 28s and 4 bottles, so you never are short of a Continental bottle, all courtesy of Continental and Shelley down there. So let's stop the giveaway number machine randomly somewhere along the way. Are you ready? It's going to be sometime about now. So it is number 41. It's going to take the first set of tyres. Number 41 is
Keith Richardson.
Keith Richardson. So, Keith, you are going to take away the first pair of tyres. Well done to Keith. So, Keith Richardson, you are our first winner on there. So, fantastic stuff. Well done, Keith. Don't forget, of course, we are going to have lots more giveaways for our riders. And Keith Richardson is the man who's going to be taking away the very first winning set of tyres out there. So well done to Keith. Keith is taking that first set. Now, the riders coming in. Well done to Keith Richardson. Looks like Jim Flynn nicely tucked in here. Now we're just making our way up through. We go through the archway here. You've missed out on all this, Sam.
I know. I'm looking at this thinking I really need to ride this route.
It's actually really quite nice. Now, I have actually done climbs through colonnades like this. Not this particular one, but ones which run alongside the colonnade, then dip underneath the archway, go the other side, and then continue upwards out and around the northern Italian lakes. There's quite a few that have this feature. That also features quite strongly in the areas around Vicenza, near the Veneto, near to where the Gravel World Championships are as well. And in fact, there was a climb alongside a colonnade very similar to this up to the church there. So really is tough stuff. So very, very tough climb. The riders have to keep this dialed on the way through. It is definitely going to be a tough climb for everybody. Remember, what goes up has to come down. When we come back down again, it's going to be incredibly quick. The riders will be then making their way through. More cyclocross going on. It feels flat at some points. It is 16% at the moment, Emma.
Yeah, it is indeed. And I think that adage of taking the first climb steady and staying around yellow, look at them all over the width of the road at the moment.
They are, and you can just see, we're just seeing 1 or 2 people start to be distanced. Dave Robertson, Mr. Kirkham looks like low on here. Just seeing a few people just drifting off the front at the moment. So Russ just putting the shout out. It's very easy to do because it feels incredibly steady as you go up the road. You think you're not really going that quick, but you are actually climbing at some serious pace. We can't actually get a look back down that gives you some meaningful views like you get say, off the volcano. But at the moment, things definitely tough stuff out there. Let's take a look at the group. So Mr. Robertson, Mr. Grant are our riders. Looks like Mick Grant about to take the right-hand turn on this colonnade section after coming through and coming out and around that turn. Looks like Dave Robertson, Mr. Kirkham in here. Looks like Mark Johnson as well. So very, very well done, guys. We know this is a tough climb. Ted Tunnicliffe on the back of this group, and we'll get our drone camera back up into the air once again. You can see the front already going around that long right-hand turn. You can see the bodies tracking the way round there as they go out and through. but definitely not the easiest of climbs up here.
No, it's not, is it at all? Because this gradient is constantly over 10% at the moment and kicking really steeply on the turns, up and over 16%. It is an absolute effort at the moment to try and keep that pace regulated and stay with yellow.
Definitely, and you can just see it's misty down into the valley behind our riders. Just going to take a little bit of a check on the group behind. And you can see this gradient. If we go alongside the riders around here, 15%, it's not easy at all. No matter how much if you turn the turbo trader difficulty down, you've just got to pump out crazy watts for the next however long. That's kind of how it works. Watts is watts, as the saying goes, and that's as far as we're allowed to talk about turbo trader difficulty.
Yes, it is indeed. So moving on to the climb, and the percentage on this climb is this. So do we reckon this is one of the steepest, constantly steepest climbs on Zwift?
It's definitely one of the steepest and constant gradient. It's much more so, say, than Innsbruck KOM.
Yeah.
Which has a lot flatter sections in this. Isn't the only flat bits really when you go across through the colonnade. If we stay in with Ted Tunnicliffe at the moment, you can see that gradient just dropping down, but it doesn't do it for long. Basically, it does it as you go through the colonnade and then up
immediately
on
kicks
to
again.
the top, and it goes once again. So yes, it is, and it is pretty mean. Now, as we get to the top of the climb, key here is for our riders to ease off at the front, because any gaps at the front will make it hard. If you have an anvil, please go to the rear of the group before the descent. If you have an anvil, please go to the rear of the group before the descent. I'll say that one last time. If you have an anvil, please go to the back of the group before the descent.
Or you could use it on the final descent and not the first one.
Well, that would be my trick for sure. Hold on to it for that final descent down. Don't give it away or use it up, because that's just like having, a battleship in your pocket and not using it in a naval battle. Why would you do it? You'd use it, of course you would. Yes, Russ has got it right. I need to say that. If you get an anvil at the top, don't blinking use it or stop pedaling. You'll get it on the way up if you get an anvil. Basically, if you do catch for an anvil on the ascent here, do you know what? Keep it in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Or just wait off the bat, but that is very Dutch. You will get judged by everybody if you use it on this descent. I hate to tell you this, they're very judgmental, a lot of the Donny Chaingang. Quite rightly, quite often, because every now and then we have to play them up a show. Now, you can see the sanctuary at the top here in Bologna, the church up at the top of this climb as they make the way up. The riders at the front are going to start to see the banner coming. You can see the barriers just starting either side. This is going to be the side. Everybody warmed up. Anybody's legs still actually not warm? Anyway, if you're not warm now, they're not going to get warm on that descent. And some spectacular architecture actually in Bologna itself. And this is a faithful recreation. I've actually done my homework on this. The actual colonnade and the sanctuary at the top, as well as town, is very, very faithful. You can see that if you get yourself into the to any of the images. If you punch up Bologna on to some of the search programs, they'll actually find you similar images. And actually, all you find is the same thing, but in real life out there. Now, through the climb, this is the turn coming up. And if we keep an eye, around the turn we go.
Oh, look at that.
Massive U-turn coming up. And then back down the climb, which now turns into a descent. So, if you see the group, there is going to be a en masse turn. And this is where it's almost impossible for us to keep up with who is where, because our riders that we're going to see on the way down, coming up, also register on our screens on the right as well.
Yeah, they do.
So this is going to be really interesting. So this is about making sure you don't use it. There we go. First anvil been deployed by somebody. Should we go anvil spotting?
Well, so I don't think we need to go anvil spotting. I think the rest of them are going anvil spotting first. So the whole point on this descent is to stay around yellow. So you need to be as glued to the yellow beacon on this descent as you were on the uphill.
Literally stop pedaling. Yeah, you can stop pedaling all you want, but look at the gap it opens having it Everybody's got Anvil envy now.
This is exactly what you need to do on the
Oh,
last.
they've got him as well. Look at this.
Yeah, but that's exactly what you need to do on the last descent tonight.
It is. Now, here we go. On the way down, heading down, it's -7. But what is going to be more important is when we take a little bit of a view back, look at the gaps here. There is 104 kph without doing much on the way through. It literally is a turnabout. Now, Keith Richardson, in fact, here is our winner. Keith Richardson, winner of our ties. If I'm not much mistaken, it is Mr. Richardson, not Richards, isn't it? It is. It's Keith Richardson. So Keith is our winner on the DCG Gang. Tyres coming your way, sir. Brand new, not released. So here we go. It makes time worth it. I hate to break it to you. You're almost at the bottom. Almost everybody is down. 103 in
And a
super
super
truck from Neil.
There's a badge for you.
That descent. Yeah. Is this what it feels like to descend like Pitters? Yes, if you put number 5 on your screen. Now, let's do a little bit of a recap. We're going to try and work out where the groups are. This is an entertaining moment where the fastest... So this is our leading pack with Russ on the group. So this is the leading... This is the front here. Mr. Mason wondering what he'd have got with an Anvil. We'll find out now. Mr. Williams leading the chase. This is group number 2. They're at 2 seconds. Then you got Mr. Goodwin. You see that Anvil didn't do him any good because he eased off the pedalling.
I know.
And, just to try and stay with the group. Now he's having to work his socks off. But look at the group he's got around him here. There's a big pack of riders. And you can see them up on the screen, can't we? It's fractured at the moment. So we've got the front group. We've got a middle fractured group. And then we've got 2 big groups at the back here. And this is group number 2 that we are in with at the moment. And you can see the beacon is still up in front. Let's have a little bit of a look. They are trying to get in. So we just did Andy Keyworth. Now, the gang are trying to push on the way through. But I'm going to take a little bit of a run back. Mark Grant onto the climb. Mr. Woodward is on the descent. I think Nick Rudkin just having rolled down there. John Finney on his way in and through here. It has definitely stretched things out here. And if we use that re-zooming map, the front 3 groups have got some serious distance up the road. So this is the back of the main pack, which means that is rider, let's say that's number 80. At the back of the main pack, that means that there are something in the region of 12 riders distance out of the main group. So 12 riders off the back of the main group. So whilst Kai Hurst is on, there are at least 12 riders distanced from that group on the way down. And you can see a long way down. People like Rich Orrell here is a long way back down here with Andy Keyworth just being distanced on that descent. Mr. Cannon looks like Jim Flynn and co. So whilst this is the main group, there are a lot of people out at the back. It is starting to reform here. You can see the nearest 2 riders behind. Remember, it is going to be, yes, Josh Mayland, 1 more ascent of the climb. So the riders taking this a little right-hand turn here, which will take them back into town. There's 1 more ascent and 1 more descent. The finish, though, to get this right is key. It's really, really important. Now, we're taking a little look behind. Still plenty of riders out the back of this group. So about 12 riders distanced this time around. And I'll tell you one rider who I haven't seen on here. Tom Lindley. Anybody seen Tom Lindley? Is he missing in action today?
After requesting the course.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a parents' evening at school or something.
Probably. Or might be that he's racing as well. That is the other option.
Yeah, you
There's
never
a
know
race league,
what's
I think,
going on.
So, here we go. So, remember, we come down into town. To get to the finish, we go around the big Yui and taking a left hand turn. Vince banned him. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he didn't do his homework. He was too busy riding on Zwift. Right, so this is the front of the group. We have 12 riders distanced from the back of the main group, out the back on the first ascent and descent. So the group are on the way back. Did we ban the wrong top? No, We haven't yet banned anybody because I haven't had the opportunity. It will happen. Believe me. So the riders on the way through keep dumping ghosts. So let's have a look. Yeah, dump ghosts, get at feathers instead. Now, our riders are on the way into town, so we're going to track them round to celebrate the fact that we've gone through the banner for the first lap. Once we've gone through the lap banner, we're going to give away another set of tyres. How's that?
Hey, sounds good.
They are. Love my Grand Prix 5000, super fast, super quick. Don't use them all the time, particularly in the UK, because the roads are shocking. And we're now on our way back into town. Mr. Lindley. Can you ban Cannon? Please give me some peace at work. Sadly, Mr. Woodward, we're open to bribes, believe me.
No, we're not.
Speak for yourself. Yeah, no, we only ban people who are Muppets. I think I must have been traumatised by the Muppet Show when I was a child. Didn't like it.
Did you not?
No.
No, it was the grumpy men in the box. They were quite scary.
Thomas Odie's chat is on mute. Good. Leave it there, bud. Tuesday. Right, taking a little bit of a look back. This is now group number 2 on the road back into town. Group number 3 is going to be Mr. Cannon, Finney and Flynn. Group number 4, well, it's a man of 4, it's called Johnson. 5 is going to be Robertson. 6 is Kirkham. And 7 is Mark Grant at the moment. They are the people who are not in the bunch. So 12 people's behind. 12 peeps behind the main group. 12 peeps. Right. Whew. Shall we take a little bit of a look up the road? Why not? Let's head towards the front of the group. We haven't even shown Russ yet. Isn't that remiss of me? Let's have a little check. Where is Signor Russ? Mr. Lindley is in here.
He is indeed. I've seen him.
Yeah, I'm glad you have it. It takes a bit of spotting in this massive bunch of riders, that's for sure. So, we are looking for... Don't think it's going to be Mr. Mason's day today. Depends where it goes. Because, of course, Russ could let it go on the descent, not on the climb.
Yeah, he could. That would be,
controversial.
It would also be a very quick finish.
It'd be incredibly quick sprint. Then my money might be on Mr. Mason. Let's have a look. Just taking a little bit of a roll back. So let's zoom the map out. We're on the last straight. It might just about flick up on the way through. So taking the straight, we're going to come in. We're going to do a U-E on the way through. No comment, Mr. Lindley. Right. So coming up, this is the long drag. Now this is the deceptive thing about this course. You come belting off the mountain. You come down off. And then you go up into this long drag into town. And this is actually the start roll out. So here we go. The riders on the run. So this is the long run in. Now you can just see at the end, we're going to do a UE. Now I'm going to take the drone camera up in the air and try and track our riders through with a slightly elevated rider's eye view here. I'm going to stay in with Phil Oliver. And apologies, Phil, you're going to feel very watched for the next couple of minutes as we go in through Bologna. Big Brother is watching, and the rest of the world up there. Tom takes a big balance to apologise. Thank you very much, sir. So the riders on the way into the start area. We're going to go through underneath the banner. This is not the finish. I'll repeat that. This is not the finish. Shall I say it again?
You just stamped your foot very hard
this
as well.
It's not the finish. I am stamping my... It is coming the opposite direction.
You've got to go through,
Someone
you
gets
go
this
round,
wrong. In
and
fact,
you come
lots
back.
of people get this wrong. When you come in, if you go belting for this line, you're going to look very silly indeed. It has been done by a number of people every single time we come onto this route.
This one and Tempest Fugit is the one that causes problems with the finish.
It's a bit like that, but you don't have the big turn.
You
This
don't.
is down here. Are you ready? Let's jump in with Phil. So we go through the finish. That was not it. We go underneath the banner. It's a start-finish banner, but we have not yet got to the finish of lap number 1. We're going to take the left-hand turn and do a full U-turn Round we go. And now we're heading for the finish. This is the run to the finish. This is the finish. This is it.
Next
this
time.
This is it. Next time round.
Yes.
Got all excited.
I think everyone has got excited that
There
that's
we
the finish
go.
line.
That was the finish line. 1 lap to go. Last ronde.
Yes, you go up and then you turn round and you come back down.
And then you turn around and you go through the finish line. Because don't forget to turn around in your oxygen deprived, leg burnt, absolutely trashed state. I noticed that our lap counter is not with us. Right. Let's hope everybody's got that on the way through. I cannot make it more simple. I know I dreamt up the route. I know I extended the standard. This Bologna one is sometimes used as a lap and a half, basically. But this is going to be interesting. Now, this is where that trigger point is key. Because this is going to be about, if it goes at the top of the climb, all the climbers will be disappointed. If it goes at the bottom of the climb, all the big descenders are going to be disappointed. It is winding up, and we are seeing people get distance. Mr. Taylor, I would agree. The pace is pretty hot tonight because we lost bodies very quickly onto the climb. This is a route that doesn't take any prisoners. It's definitely not one to do at the start of the Donny Chaingang season. It's one to do at the end of the season when people's legs are a little bit more warmed up. Let's see how many are left in the group. Finn Davis holding at the back. 50 riders, I think. I'll tell you. It was 79, 80 riders. I think it's still 80 riders in there, basically. 80 riders in the gang at the moment. We've done 1 lap in about half an hour. Bologna is indeed spicy. He's dead right. Spicy Bologna. My Italian is rubbish these days. Brains have got room for 2 languages.
I was about to say, is that because you're a Yorkshireman in France?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, bottom would be fair to the climbers after Tuesday. Maybe. We'll see. Spoke bowl for tea. Thomas only selected a proper Chaingang comment. That's what we like to see.
In the mode.
That's it, Tom. He's got the right mode. Yeah, think food comments always go down well. Not that I'm hungry, just having
I love the fact he's aligned his dinner with his riding.
Yeah, it's good, is that?
It is.
Neat. Yeah. I would love... Yeah, Dale Williams has got exactly the same. Matt, I'm sitting up for Mr. Keyworth. Okay, Rich, no problem. Thank you very much, sir. Apart from we've just lost half the body, so we'll go back in. It is indeed an Italian course. Now, what could you have? Sushi on Tuesday. Dale Williams.
Ooh.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm liking this. What are you going to do in Watopia there? That's going to be interesting.
You can have a baguette in Paris.
You could have frog's legs. You could have snails. You could have bread and cheese. Some really nice bread and cheese. Well, kind of if you need it. Not jealous much. What else could you have? Imagine a good meal for Watopia. Yeah, dinosaur steak. Mr. Yeah, you would be if you were trying to eat for that, Mr. Mason. There's still plenty of chat going on, so the pace can't be that hot at the moment. We are on the run down out of Bologna, out of the city, and heading out towards the climb. Mick Hawkins tucked in nicely. We've had our little turnaround. Tell you what we're going to do. Whilst these riders are heading in, I'm going to attempt to jump in with Russ. There we go. As if by magic. Let's pull up our screens. Let's do a little bit of magic with the computers. Because guess what we're going to do? We are going to go for another giveaway.
Yay!
There we go. Right. You know how it works. Really interesting. We're going to do a giveaway. This is going to be the last giveaway of tonight. Means we're going to do 3 on Tuesday. Let's do a giveaway to one of our riders. You've heard of the spiel. You know exactly what these riders are going to be getting. These are for the members of the DCG gang, who are all the unsung heroes of the Donny Chaingang. Are you ready? It's going to be number 11.
Number 11, Tim Cooper.
Tim Cooper. Tim Cooper. New house owner, Tim Cooper. He might not be able to get his heating to work, but he's going to have some nice tyres. So well done to Tim. Congratulations. We'll be getting you those details out. Let's jump back in with the race. So Tim Cooper taking the second set. That's the word I was looking for, or two, of tyres. Okay, here we go. Let's head for the climb, and let's see when Russ chooses to pull the pin. Congratulations to Tim. So Tim Cooper getting the second set of brand spanking, yet to be launched, exclusive to the Donny Chaingang GP.
And there is, of course, a choice to be made
5,000s.
from our winners tonight.
There is no, well, there is what tyre size, because there's no choice between black and tan wall. It should be tan wall all the way.
Oh.
Says the man who hasn't got tan wall tyres on his bike but wishes he had. I will have tan wall envy. Tan wall all the way. What's Russ got on his bike here? He's got black tyres on, hasn't he? We'll see. Right. Riders heading up onto the climb. We have 80 riders in the pack. Let's see where they go. Tan walls indeed for the win. Thank you, Russ. Yeah, I could rely on Russ for that. Tan walls. Grand Prix 5000s. Super fast tyre. Beautiful tyre. Even I can go quick on GP 5000s.
But with an engine.
Using with the new... they are GP 5000 AS, which is the tubeless ready all season, slightly heavier duty than the standard 5000, so you can use them most of the way through. Absolutely brand spanking. Gangster white walls, if only. Yeah, that's a bit kind of old school. Who doesn't like tan walls? Don't know. They do exist. I must admit, there are some bikes that look better with black, all black tyres, but not many. Okay, here we go. Oh, Jimmy Mack, iPad's at 9%.
Going to have to pedal faster.
Poor planning. P, sir. Something or other poor planning gives you poor performance. That'd be the words I was looking for. Right, yeah, that might mean that our insight might not be Jimmy Mack. Not with 9%. It's going to get chewed up on the way through. David Cass nicely tucked in here. This group is moving pretty quickly. Now, who are we in for the win tonight? Are you going to pick your favourites? It would suit a pro rider. People like Tom and Donny in there. Leon could have had a chance had he been with us. But I wouldn't put it past somebody like Lindley today. I could be going to be... interesting to see how the riders do who are younger. People like Finn Davis would be a good bet today.
Yeah, but there is the difference, isn't there? Is what type of gap can be closed on the descent, I think, is the determining factor today.
Well,
if you are
yes.
at the top first, does that mean you will go across the finish line first, or can a catch be made on the descent?
Yes, lots, regularly by many in previous rides on here. But it does depend on the gap, as you say, and it depends on how many's there. If you are solo, you generally don't last. If you are in a 2 or a 3, you really do have a good chance on this course. And that is very, very tiny. Now, on to the climb we go. It is officially hit 1%. There is no more downhill till you get to the top, ladies and gentlemen. There is no... Look at that. Mr. Mason, over the top first and alone is no good. It is not. It is indeed not. We are on to the climb. There is no more down. And the go has gone on the base of the climb. Russ is in it. I think Emma's mouth gets any wider open. She'll not just catch flies, she'll catch seagulls in there. Flipping heck. It is right at the start of the climb. Look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. What a time to call the go, but what an amazing time to call the go. I wasn't expecting it. I can imagine some of those riders in there weren't expecting it either, because the whole of this climb now is up for grabs.
I tell you something, it has just exploded behind these riders. We're going to try and get a helicopter shot. Look how thin that line is. It's stretched out behind our beak, behind the riders on the offensive. It looks like it's Taylor who's got the lead at the moment, who is up the road. I'm trying to get to him, but it looks like Rollitt is chasing here. Look at the damage that's being done as we climb out of town. I mean, we're at 12% now. We're not even...
at the steep bit.
No, not even close. And there are bodies everywhere. It's just shredded the Chaingang. Look at that. There is bits of people left everywhere. And Rollitt is now got company. He's got Tom Lindley. Rush, you called it, you fool.
Oh, now. And Lindley is... we have an original one of those jerseys at home, a long sleeve version.
Yeah,
And
I tell you what, that
fabulous kit, Lindley. Great choice.
this is why I couldn't recognise Tom Lindley. He's gone for the Mondrian kit. I absolutely love this kit. I might have to actually put my hand in my pocket and purchase a set of this kit to ride around France in, because I absolutely love it. Apart from the fact that the team was owned by a convicted criminal now. There you go. He went to jail for fraud after.
I was going to say, the
in
long sleeve jersey we've got at home is too warm for riding in France.
Too warm for us. Yeah, definitely. And I wouldn't get in it. Now, Finn Davies, come on, Finn. Don't let me down, buddy. Finn's in here. Do you know what? Finn and Russ have regularly ridden up climbs together.
They're doing it again.
I know. They work well together, these two. Isaac Oliver, Young Buck Cruise Isaac. Nicely tucked in here. Ryan Williams, another danger man in here. So you've... Oh, look at this. This is youth coming to the fore. Harry Hudson, young Tom Lindley. Don't call him that very often these days. Young Isaac Oliver. Young Mr. Ryan Williams. What a four. What a quartet. Then a little bit of a gap back to almost an old fella now at 20-something. Greg Booker. Definitely an old fella, Russ Downing. Sorry, Russ. And then you got Finn Davis, another of our youngsters. Tom is only there starting to wind it up. Then it's going to be Rollitt. Josh May. I tell you, Josh does regularly good rides on the gang. He really does put it out. Then it's going to be Evans, followed by Elliott, Taylor, Osmond, Oliver, Phil Oliver this time, Dave Cass, Neil Carey, Mick Hawkins, Ray, Mack, Jimmy in here. Let's have a look at Sharp, Richardson. What you need, Keith, is a set of fast-rolling tubeless GP 5000 AS.
He's just won some.
80 tension here, Wayne Barr in, Taylor Leach. It's going to be Mr. Westwood, Taylor Oxford, Williams, Fulton, Pearson. Going to be Hind in there. Looks like Mason, definitely not going to be Mason's day. Mason currently sitting in 34th position. But the lead at the moment, if I can get that on our screens as fast as I can, I will be there. Are already in around this turn, and looks like Ryan William has already gone through that hairpin bend. Looks like Mazzoni and Downing are in this section.
Yeah, but Booker has joined, so Booker has closed that 2-second gap and joined the 4 riders at the front to make that 5.
I'll tell you something, there'll be no pulling back that 5 if you get in there now. Let's take a little bit of a run a little bit further back. I'm just going to come in with Jimmy Mack in and around this turn. You can see the gradient as you come round here. Just kicks right on up. Jimmy Hams get out of the saddle here. 463 watts peaking as he came in around that bend. That is a brutally nasty section of climb. Let's follow Wayne Barr in around this left-hand turn back to the colonnade. You can see the yellow beacon in front, and this is one of the mean things about this summit. If we just drop back, we'll follow... let's follow Jimmy Allen. We haven't seen Jimmy much today. So Jimmy's going to come round this turn here. He takes this left-hand turn. But if we look side on, you can see 10% at the moment and counting. Round the hairpin he goes. This is a man who's written books on the hardest climbs. 18% on the inside of that turn. Now comes into this section. Look at the inside.
That kick.
Absolutely evil, nasty bit of hillside here today.
Yeah, look at the damage it has done to the group. The group are spread all over the road, and it is absolutely fighting. Well, everybody is fighting to get up this hill.
Well, at the moment, it's Harry Hudson who's got the gap. This is dangerous for the group, really, because if this group splits, this is not going to be good news because they are not going to come down. And Harry Hudson, unless he's got an anvil in his pocket to really accelerate, and nobody in this group of about 4 riders has one, then he's going to be up there. Now, you can just see that Russ is continuing to push behind. So it's Hudson up the road on his own. Then it is Isaac Oliver, Greg Booker, Tom Lindley and Ryan Williams. Behind then it is Mazzoni, currently in 6th position. Downing in 7th, Finn Davis in 8th, David Cass in 9th, Tim Rullett in 10th place. It is very, very tough stuff up at the top. Jimmy Max, I wonder whether Jimmy's powering his iPad with his power that's coming out. Russ putting a sprint on here to try and get on to the wheel of Tom. So the two riders almost back together here, but look at the gap that Harry Hudson has opened up here, Emma. We are on 7 seconds.
Yeah, we are on 7 seconds at the moment, and the gradient is down at a more relative 6% at the moment under Hudson's wheels as he continues to tap. He's tapping out a rhythm of around 84 RPM. He's tapping it nicely, and he's just stretching that lead, you know, Matt. It's now out to 8 seconds to that group behind, but that group behind, it's a good group and a group you don't want chasing you.
No, and then you can see you've got Booker, Oliver, Lindley and Williams. Then you've got Downing and Mazzoni. So in here, these two riders together, I tell you something, Tom Mazzoni and Russ Downing, that is a duo you don't want chasing behind. However, it's these four I will put money on are going to be in there now. Harry Hudson sets the fastest time up there. Look at the difference, 15:13 for that
7 minutes quicker. 7 minutes quicker than last time.
Right, we are going to hook up with this group on the descent. We're going to drop in on the wheels of Greg Booker. Here we go on the descent, and we are going to run right past the rest of the field on the way down from the summit. We're going to watch these riders as these bunch come down. So you can just see that was Mazzoni and Downing coming the opposite direction. They're picking up speed, 50 kph. Just going past there, that was Finn Davis in the opposite direction, coming in and through. Jimmy Mack in that next group. It looks like Jimmy Allen was going through. Just watching these riders coming the opposite way. You can see just how quick they are on this descent. They are coming down. They are chasing Hudson at the moment. These guys need to take some serious turns here and do some serious speed. Remember, we are on the upper slopes. It's not as fast here as it is lower down.
You know, and Williams calling for riders in that group to come through and off now at 2 watts per kilo. They are not going to catch. This needs to be a real effort on this downhill section.
He's got an anvil. All of a sudden, Lindley's put the anvil in on the steepest section. Let's drop in with Tom Lindley if we can. Look at the speed on them.
105 kph. He's backing off a little bit now and just dropping under 100. But that gap to Hudson coming down. But can it come down completely?
Well, I tell you something. He's just put 12 seconds in, dropping the anvil at the right time. They're not even in sight behind him. Can they see Lindley? I don't think they can. That is the difference that having that anvil makes. It accelerates you up. Use it at the right time. Look at this.
Yeah, Hudson's trying to respond now. Hudson's seen the danger because it's down to 5 seconds. Went from
He's right behind him.
23 seconds to 5 seconds. That gap's gone down to. Now Lindley is kicking, and Lindley is absolutely going to sprint onto this back wheel now. So Lindley is sprinting on to Hudson's back wheel.
Well, if Hudson's got any sense, he's going to let him get on here, because the two of them versus the three behind could mean that they are going to stay clear. The three chasers, though, they're at 6 seconds. There's nothing in this. And look at the gap back. The old fellas have been distanced. They're still on the descent here. They are over a minute behind now. Over 1 minute behind due to that absolutely Led Zeppelin-like descent there of Lindley and Hudson.
Yeah, so that anvil absolutely playing into Lindley's hands, closing that gap down. But Matt, look, that chasing three. It's 3 seconds now. Williams, Oliver and Booker all coming back now, and I think this is going to come back together.
Yeah, the five are going to come back together, but who wasn't doing the effort on the way down? Lindley, who has had to chase longest, the three behind, albeit there are 3 of them. So here we go. Ryan Williams tucked into the back of the group. This is where our top 5 riders are going to come from. There you go. That's Matt's prediction for the day. Absolute given. Yeah, Russ needs to into the finish, please. Don't blame him. It's still a fair way to go in. Then it's Finn Davis. Got Jimmy Mack for company. Tell you what, Finn Davis hangs out in some exalted company. He's got Jimmy Mack now, former national champion, in there with Finn Davis. Then it's going to be Tom Elliott, going to be Tim Rowley, going to be Phil Oliver. Looks like Evans in this group, Cass in this group. Davis just having to put in the work here. This group of 5, though. Right, the gap is 53 seconds. Now, is this going to come down? This is almost a chase behind. Now, Williams has gone again. Williams has put a big dig in here.
Yeah, but look at the kicks coming out of everybody, Matt. There's orange numbers all over the page at the moment. Oliver's at 11%. Booker is responding. Williams is still kicking hard. Linley is there. They are all pushing. Nobody wants to go away from this group.
I tell you something, that was a very early kick there because he's making them work. He's still sitting at 7.2 watts per kilo. He's continuing this dig here. He's got a little bit of a gap, but we've got a long way to go. We've got left and then the right over the, basically round the roundabout and onto the road into town. You can see the yellow beacon in the distance behind. It's that very narrow pillar of light on the way through. Finn Davis, I think someone shot him.
Yeah, well, someone has shot Davis. Williams and is being chased by Hudson. Hudson is the one to actually put the kick in to try and close the gap between this group. But the other riders not coming with him. So Hudson coming over now and just sitting on the back of Williams' wheel.
Right, okay, so they're on the run in here, and I think all 5, they're together. Then we've got 2 riders together. This is group number 2. This is group number 3, and it looks to me like this little group here, which has got Finn Davis at the back of it, are not that far off the Downing Mazzoni wheels. They're only 20 seconds off those wheels. That's not far. Then you've got 1s and 2s. But it looks sort of like a little group here with Barr, and looks sort of like Jimmy Allen. Dench is in here as well. Mayland and this group, they were right behind them. It starts to regroup, and you see bigger and bigger packs forming behind our leaders. But the leading group at the moment is this group of riders. And again, Ryan Williams is not content to leave this to a sprint. He's really animating the racing at the front, and Linley has come across this time. Linley's marking out all of the moves at the moment. Now Hudson responds to it and comes up. We're on to the 3% gradient now. So if anybody's got anything left in those climbing legs, and we know Hudson was good on that climb, now is the time to use it because it's draggy. This is an uphill run to the line, and what we see, the distance is compressed down between all of these groups. But look at this, across the road,
across the road. Nobody wants to lead this out anymore. They are playing cat and mouse with each other and absolutely sitting up.
I saw a 1.6 watt per kilo out there. That was just scary low. That was easing to the back, surely, because there's no way you're going to be able to stay at that. We've still got the slight right-left chicane. The left turns nearly 90 degrees, and that sharp right before we line up for the run towards the banner, and then the turn, and then the kick for the finish. This group are losing time at a rate of knots. Will it be fast enough? 37 seconds now. As Ryan Williams says, feel free to help us.
I don't think they're going
to. This could be the best game of poker ever. Sit on the back and don't do anything. On the way through, we'll see. Jimmy Allen registered an official complaint against Tom L's jersey. I thought you'd like having a teammate. Jimmy Allen has long worn the Mondrian jersey. But I'll tell you something, having Linley in there seems quite fitting, really. I don't know. I mean, he's learnt from Jimmy Allen over the years. Let's face it. Scary that we can say that about the Chaingang. Right, Ryan Williams is back on to the front. Oh, come on, boys. You are playing into the hands of Mazzoni and Downing. This is going to be it.
He's not working hard enough if he's got time to type.
No, definitely not. And that's the yellow beacon behind the 5, and they're still across the road. I tell you something. I think they've gone out for a bit of a chat.
Yeah, look at that. 2.6 watts per kilo at the moment. They're having a little gas time.
Yeah, having a little bit of a stroll in. Yeah, let's keep an eye on the guys behind. 38 seconds is the gap. Bigger group at 1:05. This is the 1 minute and 5 group on the way through. So a bigger group, 1 minute and 5 down there. Only 28 seconds behind Downing. Not even that now. 19 seconds behind Downing and Mazzoni. And then we've got this group, which is another 30 seconds back, which is even bigger still. So the further back we go, the bigger the groups are in here. This is tough stuff. So here we go. Another attack coming. Isaac Oliver launching the first one. Long range distance specialist. He's gone hard. He's got another kick in him here. He's gone hard. It's been answered as they come in and through. And they were toying with each other. Now Isaac Oliver, maybe a little predictably, going first. He likes a long run in. Booker is probably the oldest rider in here by some margin. He's got the experience as Hudson goes through now. So Harry Hudson on the attack again, now at 9 watts per kilo. Booker is having to answer him. We are a long way out. You can see the turn on the map, top right-hand side of your screen. Who is going to get the timing right now? Oliver is now at the back. He's tracking Lindley, who's tracking Williams, who's tracking Booker, who's alongside Hudson. They can see the banner, but remember, this is the banner. This is not the finish. It's only when you've gone round the U-turn are you into the finish. So this is the run. Who knows exactly where this is? Is anybody going to be on here? Let's have a look and see who's going to go. Now, Ryan Williams has gone. Is this a sprint for the finish, or is this because he's putting in another attack? You'll know if he goes to 0 watts per kilo going under the bunny, you know he's got it wrong.
No, he's not at all. He's continuing
he's
to
kept
push,
on
and
going.
he's kept him going. He's made him wonder what he's up to, and the fact, has he read the finish wrong? But no, he's not, and he's put that feather and deployed it to the good advantage here as he's pushed on and utilised it as he makes that turn and he heads back, and he's got an 8-second gap now. They're going to have to close down tight.
So here it goes. This is your race winner. He comes through. It is going to be Williams. Then it's going to be Booker, Lindley, Hudson, and Oliver in that order. What a finish, Emma.
It was indeed, wasn't it? And what a lead out. Absolutely amazing, as Downing and Mazzoni are the two to come in next. They are about to take this turn and they're about to go around this corner, and Mazzoni lining up on Downing's wheel. They're taking this left-hand bend and they sweep round, and Russ leads it out and the fire socks go down. Tom's not responding. I think Russ is going to take this. Russ is going, oh, and then Watts come down, but Russ is still out and Russ is going to take, so Downing takes the win.
Next up is going to be this little group on the way down. I think Phil Oliver has the gap at the moment. He's on his way in. Finn Davis. Oh, Davis has put a ghost in. Where's he gone? Where's he going to appear? Is he going to take out Oliver before they get to the line? Just going to try and keep an eye on him. Where does he? Oh, nearly got him there. Jimmy Mack comes through. Jimmy's iPad holds out just about robbed by Rollitt there. We are going to see rider after rider come in. We are going to try and keep a track of everybody coming in. It is impossible, I promise you that, on this circuit. It's one of the things, when I thought about using it, I never ever realised quite how grim it would be coming this direction. So, it's going to be a sprint in, and now Mason has gone. Surely Mason has got the legs to hold off everybody else. He has indeed. He's going to go underneath the banner first. It's Mason, Cass, Runnit, Williams, Mayland, Osman, Tunnicliffe, Barr. It looks like Sharp, Hawkins, Ray, all coming through. Looks like Jimmy Allen in that group as well. Whew. Absolutely manic out there today.
It is indeed, isn't it? And isn't it great to see such large groups come through sprinting for the line? Absolutely fantastic.
So we are going to try and work our way back, which means we're going to kind of simultaneously go forward. So apologies if we miss anybody on the way into the line. As you can appreciate, this is a bit trickier with this finish for us as we come around, trying to make sure we catch all of the riders at the right time. I think Taylor Leach is likely to have this, or is he?
Oh, no.
It's going to be tight. I think it's going to be Oxenham who took that. It is indeed Leach unable to catch him. Then it's Westwood, Pearson, Griffin, Taylor, Fulton, and Co coming through. Richardson in there, our winner today. Then it's Neil Carey. I'll tell you something, they're coming in thick and fast. Now, the next group of riders have got the U-turn to do here, Emma. What a finish by those five, and what a ride by Ryan Williams.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And real sneaky point to actually drop that feather and ride away from that group. Make everybody think he's got the wrong finish line, and just keep on going.
He did it indeed. Now, Tom Hagger comes round. He's going to lead this sprint off. You've got to start sprinting basically on the way as you come in before you come into the turn. So you've got to sprint into the turn, which is so counterintuitive when you're on Swift. But Hanger does that. He comes in ahead of Taylor and Goodwin. Looks like Neil from the Crosscast going to be the next of our riders coming through. Garfer and Co. coming through immediately behind. Hind in there. More Main. Looks like Gareth coming through. Forrester Dixon from Bolsover in and through the line. Just waiting to jump back to our next riders. Here we go. The next group coming in is going to be this group. It's Chris Ball's group. Now, this is where you're going to find, yep, or was it in this direction? I can't remember how many times we said which way you've got to get this right.
It's a tricky one.
Chris Ball knows this finish, and he may well be the man to have this, but they've got some very fast riders in it. It's going to be Tim Baggs who's going to lead this out. Is Chris got his sprinting legs back in yet? We're going to see. This is the run for the line. Hurst has put in a sprint, but Malin has gone, and I think Malin is going to just get this. Hurst is coming. Malin takes it.
Good timing there, and that was absolutely all about the timing to get to that line first there in that group.
It was indeed. Now, we got more in front in the black and red. We've got Gillard in the orange and black, but it looks like Moore is going to go take this out. We're going to try and get a view as they come through. So it is more from Gillard, and we're going to take a run back. Next group coming into this turn.
Yeah, so the next group coming into the turn, Gail Gillard. Behind Wallace.
So just in here. This is a Wallace at the moment now. Big sprint over the top. Who's that putting in the numbers? It's Mick Clark. The man is this Mick's 150th ride. He's going to ride through that line solo. Nice riding, sir. That shows that experience, Captain. Then it's going to be Gail Dermot, Forbes, Wallace. Going to be in from the Stellaton, the next group through that. And I think Foxy just came through there as well. So well done, Foxy. Great riding. Foxy comes through. Job done. So Foxy just making her way through there. And our next group is coming in the opposite direction. And I think it is going to be led by Dick Small. Here we go. Fun this finish, isn't it, Emma?
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's almost what you can't see is the absolute carnage here as we jump from rider to rider
and try and find them.
People wonder why we break keyboards so often.
Yeah, so riders coming in now. And you can see we've got 3 riders coming in here. So Langmead at the back, Samuel in 2, and Fling in 1. Is it going to stay this way? That is the question. I can't. Oh, and we've got some Watts coming down now, and Fing is going pushing here, and he's going to take the group through in first.
So it is Sir Rodney, then it's Dick Small and Rich Langmead in immediately behind him. Then it's going to be, now, here's a guess. It's going to be Chris Canham. So Chris goes through next. Then it's going to be Keith Richards coming in and through. Then I think it is going to be, it's not going to be Indy the Trail Dog who's decided to come in and see us in the studio. It's going to be Rich Orrell, the man who did a sterling job of being our red beacon on Tuesday. He's our next finisher, if he can stay ahead of Callum Crabe. So Callum, the next rider on his way in.
So Richards and Crabe here. Crabe is the next rider coming in, and just heading into this turn now. So the turn is the all-important part. You go round the turn, and that's when the sprint takes place.
So Callum Crabe in the blue, Rich Orrell in the grey and green of Downing Cycling, the Coaching Works jersey. Who's it going to be? Let's get up above them because I think they're going to go through virtually side by side here. Oh, sneaky kick here by Rich Orrell.
Crabe! Oh, I put out 12 watts per kilo, but just too late there.
Then it's going to be Bobby Mason, our next rider through. Well done, Bobby. It's an entertaining route, this. That's the way I would describe it. Entertaining for everybody on the descent because those speeds are absolutely phenomenal. And then you have this tricky run into the finish with the groups coming back together again. Very, very fun indeed. And then you've got this manic finish. So low, next ride around and in towards the line. How you doing there, Em? You've almost gone bright red here trying to keep up with the action that's going on. Silence came the reply. Thanks. So that's
It's a bit manic, isn't it?
Yep, this is one of the most manic finishes. There is only one that's actually worse than this, and we don't tend to use that anymore. I'm not even going to mention it in case Russ puts it in now. Turner, it's going to come through. This is Greg Booker's teammate.
So
Big kick here. He's going to be ahead of Mike Killingsworth.
Turner is pushing, and Turner actually takes that through. Killingsworth comes through behind. So Mike Killingsworth over the line now, and the next group of riders, Matt.
Next group of riders are going to be Mr. Gillard in theory, but I thought we'd seen him come through once already. So we'll see. At the moment it is going to be Gillard, then it's going to be Andy Keyworth, followed by Mike Killingsworth, who's gone the opposite way, and this is where it gets entertaining. So let's focus on the ones we do know.
Yes.
That's not many. So it's going to be Gillard next. So John on his way in towards the line. You can see that lined up, and you can see coming the other way. That is Andy Keyworth.
Yeah, so Gillard and Keyworth coming through.
So it's Gillard on his way. Andy Keyworth is immediately behind him. So I think Emma's just collapsed into a small heap in the background. So Andy Keyworth, our next rider coming in to the line. Immediately behind him will be Matt Woodward. So Matt Woodward, our next rider, but it is going to be Andy. Well done, Andy, from out the Saddle Club. Then it's going to be Matt Woodward.
Yeah, it is indeed. So Woodward is indeed going to be the next rider, just taking this left-hand sweeping turn now and seeing that finish line in front of him and on the way through now.
So still plenty of riders out on the course. 94 starters. Currently on rider number 82 across the line as through goes Matt Woodward. And we might have to take a little bit of a run down the road to find our next rider who is on the way in. It looks like a bit of a gap now between Mr. Woodward and the chasing riders, which I think is going to be led by John Finney. Finney, in theory, may well be our next rider to come in to the line. Behind him, you've got Cannon at 26 seconds, Flynn at 57, and then a whole host of riders who have already finished. Turned?
Yes, they've
Make
turned.
you sound like a spy who's been turned by a musician.
Yeah.
Okay. So, whilst John Finney makes his way in to the finish, Emma, I'm not sure you've recovered from that. Is it worse commentating than riding? Is it harder?
Oh, yeah. It is, definitely. It's much more fun riding.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that,
actually. No, you're right. I'll remove the word fun. It is very, very different.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I do enjoy being on the bike, but I do enjoy being in here as well.
On the mic. So, John Finney on his way to see the finish gantry, the banner. That was going to be a gantry then, but it didn't work. So it is going to be John Finney on his way in. Then behind him should be Steve Cannon, then Jim Flynn, and then I suspect it's going to be Mark Grant, who's well on his way in at the moment. But it is going to be Finney who's got this turn to do. Whilst John is on his way to the turn, a quick reminder, please, guys, make sure you join up, sign up, join, donate if you can. Make sure you follow the rules on the pages, guys. Right in, following the go until the go, and then remember, it's meant to be fun for everybody. We don't want to leave anybody behind. So, John Finney is going to be our next rider in through the red gantry, the finish line down here in Bologna. It's orange actually slightly. There you go. Shows I'm even running out of colour sense at this moment in time. Next up will be Steve Cannon.
Yep, so Cannon coming under that orange banner. He's going to take the turn very shortly, and then that is going to become the finish line in front of him.
It will indeed. Don't forget, of course, support the people who support your Chaingang. They are all across the bottom of your screens. You can see a Gritty 20% discount from the team at Gritty from OTE as well. Extra discounts from Halo as well as from the team at 1080 Ian Taylor and Co. So Steve Kelly going to be the next rider in and through the line. He sees Jim Flynn coming in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And here is Jim going to be our next finisher on his way to that finishing line.
Yeah, that was almost perfect timing. One rider crossing the line, the other one coming in the other direction into the left-hand bend and up and through towards finish. So Flynn coming in now.
So it's going to be Jim Flynn, another of our regular riders on the Donny Chaingang. Jim doing those final pedal turns. Nice choice of bike as well, because you need a narrow bike on the downhill. If you're confident on the climbs, you want something fun on the downhill. Flynn going in and through, and that means we have got Mark out on the course at the moment. And Mark steadily making his way round. He's already coming in to that right-hand turn section there. So as he makes his way in and through, Emma, the course, it's a special course, isn't it? Because it's got two big climbs, two big descents. Immediately you go up the top, you're turning and you're straight back down again. Critical moment being in a group there.
Yeah, and I think it was shown tonight, wasn't it, that our lone leader got caught, and whilst Lindley used the anvil on the downhill section, the group behind didn't, and the group behind still made the catch. So whilst the power-ups did come into play tonight, it wasn't necessary.
And interesting that the rider who came through to take that victory overall, Ryan Williams, was doing a lot of the work on that downhill section.
Yeah, he was indeed doing a lot of the work, and he was calling for other riders to do some work with him as well on the flat sections, because that group were sitting up and looking at each other a lot, and then the attacks kept coming, and then they sat up again, and at one point there was a question as to whether the two riders behind would make the catch to them, but it soon started to light up, and the attacks kept coming thick and fast.
They did, didn't they? And I have to say, I thought that group, it was really interesting. They were quite prepared to let Downing and Mazzoni get close before they even thought about them. They weren't really that worried. And with two riders of that class coming up and chasing, you'd think they'd have been all over that.
Well, yes, but there was some class in that front group of five as well, and I think they showed that they can work together on a downhill section, they can climb strongly, and they can take it out for a sprint as well.
Which they did indeed. Now, we've already given away 2 pairs of tyres out of the 5 pairs of brand spanking, so new that they're not even launched yet. Grand Prix 5000 all season. They're tubeless ready, so if you want to run a tubeless and fill your tyres with liquid loopy stuff, you can do. If you want to run it with a lightweight inner tube in there, you can do the same, whether that's going to be something like a latex tube or you're going to run something like a very thin butyl tube. You can run it with a heavy duty tubes for a little bit more protection in there. You can run it with a tyre liner with tubeless if you want, but that is what you can do with that new GP 5000. It's tubeless ready, which has already existed, but this is an all season. It means you can ride it pretty much all year round without worrying about it. It's going to give you that speed and the rolling and the pace that you don't necessarily get with something more heavy duty. Still continuing, of course, with the 4-season tyre. That's continuing onwards. Tyre of choice for lots of rough roads, lots of winter rides, particularly if they've been out thrashing the hedges out around and where you are starting to see a large number of things like that out and around the Doncaster area at the moment, and all around that sort of South Yorkshire, North Derbyshire area. So watch out if you're out and about. 4 seasons is very good for that kind of terrain. Don't forget, of course, if you're going to go super fast, if speed is everything, and the grip super important at high speed, Grand Prix 5000s absolutely superb. Had the pleasure of riding Grand Prix 5000s all the way out and round for the training and riding out in last May in France, actually, putting a lot of miles. There's some very quick miles out there, quick for me anyway. Didn't take too many KOMs on the way through, but it was nice to jump in with the local Chaingang, in fact, who I happened to bump on the way out and take my turn out. My French then improved at no end, including through "Come Through You Lazy Englishman" in French. So I had to do my share of the work. Now, Doing more than his share is Mark Grant. Mark on his way in towards the finish. And I have to say, the determination of our riders at the back is absolutely superb, isn't it, Emma?
Oh, the commitment and resilience of them is absolutely fantastic. And of course, something for everybody, and everybody gets a good ride and a good workout on the Donny Chaingang. So Grant is just coming in now and taking some of these final turns before the long run into the finish.
Yeah, got the left-hand turn here, and then the sharp right coming up. You can just see the old walls and the old town and the old tower. Going to be a right-hand turn, then it's almost straight to the finish. No sharp turns, well, apart from that 180-degree turn.
One at the very end.
At the very end, indeed. So coming in, going to take that right-hand turn and past the Roman arches topped with the Italian architecture. As they come in to the turn, you can just see the gatehouse behind. That's the old gateway actually out of town in Bologna. The road used to run through the arches. Doesn't anymore, obviously. The old gatehouse there to the old town, and now on his way in to the centre. We actually start basically in the centre piazza of Bologna and go right the way up to the sanctuary. You can tell I've done homework on this course a few times. So it is the final run in for Mark Grant. Don't forget, now, if you're a member of the DCG gang and you renew monthly, so that means every month you go, yeah, do you know what? I'm going to keep on riding on the gang. Another month I go, oh, look, I've got some spare cash. I'm going to donate you. Oh, Matt was particularly effusive about my efforts tonight, or Russ was really kind with that go, 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 or maybe not. Then please do donate. And if you are going to do that, please, 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 pretty please, rejoin before the end of the month. Because then when the automated email comes out, it will catch you and send you all of the details of the rides in March on Wednesday. Because Tuesday is the last ride
in February.
And that means that the WOW DCG will be the first ride in
March.
And that means that if you want to be on the ride on Thursday and you have not renewed for March, then you aren't going to get the details. So please, guys, renew. Otherwise, you'll be stuck joining the ride. Be aware, please, folks, if you join before the end of the month, the automated emails catch you. Everybody who joins after that, we have to literally trawl through the orders and send you out individual emails, which takes a heck of a lot of time to do that. Now, whilst we try and catch everybody, there are people who fall through the cracks because the automated system can't sweep you up because you didn't get it early enough. So please, guys, do make sure that you do join before the end of the month. The end of the month is on Tuesday, the first ride of March. It's the final month of the WOW DCG.
Final month of the WOW DCG, and there are 2 months left of the Donny Chaingang.
There is indeed. First ride on the WOW DCG in March is going to be on Crit City on, if I remember right, Downtown Dolphin.
It is indeed.
Which means there's going to be very entertaining run for our riders on the way through. Mark, if you're watching, you need to do the Yui, buddy.
Yes, you've got to go round the corner and come back to the finish.
Yeah, 32.8 on the clock. Mark just turning those pedals over. You can just see this turn in and around. So whilst Mark makes his way around this turn, it leaves me to say, Emma, it has been an absolute pleasure putting words to the action with you. We're going to let you get off and get ready for the weekend. Are you on commentary duty at the weekend?
I am indeed, on Sunday morning, yes.
So Sunday morning is going to be the Sunday Race Club. We're going to be giving away big prizes because this is our prize money final on the Sunday Race Club. If you want to know more details, you have to follow Emma's social media feed or my social media feed or the Full Speed Events social media feed, which you can see over there. Full Speed Events is at Full Speed Events on all the social media. And of course, Emma, where can we find you?
You can find me at Biking Emma.
So make sure that you join up, sign up to the Chaingang, and make sure you catch up with us over the weekend. We're back on Tuesday. In the meantime, enjoy your riding. Stay safe. Don't forget, keep your eyes out. We'll be giving away those last 3 sets of tyres next week on Tuesday. From me, Matt Payne, from all of our fantastic sponsors and supporters, and from Emma, from Russ, and all of our beacons. Stay safe. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.